My name is Jeff Beal. I'm a consultant that does work with SWACO and the collaborative that's working on reducing food waste. So we appreciate everyone being here. We've got a few speakers that want to share with you the relevancy of this work at a national level, a state level, and also at our local level. But we're obviously here around the Central Iowa Food Waste Initiative. But there's also a couple of other reasons why we're here. One is to celebrate collaboration. Everything that you're going to hear about tonight was co-created through a voluntary process, not a mandate. And it was done through over 60 partners in this room, some of which probably aren't with us tonight, but we went through almost a year-long process of creating an action plan. That action plan's in the room, and I think many of you received it electronically. And it's really a product of co-creation. So part of us celebrating tonight is that we have now an action plan to guide our work, and it's guiding us towards reducing food waste in half by, Kyle, is it 2030, I think? So we've got an ambitious goal. And the other part of the celebration then is obviously that we did this through a very structured collaborative process. And I'd like to see with a show of hands, who in the room was part of the collaborative process that we worked on? Please raise your hand high, and others, please join me in thanking everybody in the room with their hand up for being part of this. For those of you who are new to food waste, some of the speakers are going to be sharing the why we need to do this. But I thought I would just start with a little bit of information that 13% of the materials in our landfill are related to food. And put another way is that the landfill, 1 million pounds of food waste is received every day at the landfill. So we can do better than that, right? And you'll see as you dig into the action plan and read through our work, we really have a balanced approach around prevention, rescue, and recycling. So we're not just hanging our hat on one of those hooks. And the group in the room that worked on this for the last year, we've come up with a lot of ideas, some very actionable, and we have work already underway, and others that are going to take us a while to figure out how to get there. But we wanted to think big, start small, and scale up. That was kind of the spirit in the room. Think big, start small, scale up. So I'd like to start off our short program by inviting Ty Marsh, who's the Executive Director of SWACO, up, and Ty's going to introduce some of our other speakers.
Thanks, Jeff. Good evening, everyone. What a beautiful evening in such a fabulous facility and such an asset to Columbus, our Franklin Park Conservatory. We want to thank them again for allowing us to have this event here today. I'm Ty Marsh, Executive Director of SWACO, and you already got a chance to see one of our board members, Brian Will Wave. I know we had Patrick King coming, but I don't know if Patrick's here yet. He's a constituent of Mayor Kessler, so they're probably stopped at a bar on the way, and they'll get here in a few minutes.
That was Ty Marsh.
That was Ty Marsh. We also have a lot of SWACO team members here, and I just asked our SWACO team members just to raise your hand because they're all here and they do phenomenal work. Thank you. So our mission at SWACO is to improve the community solid waste stream through effective reduction, recycling, and safe disposal of the waste. And we do that by keeping materials out of the waste stream and thus out of the landfill while enhancing the environment and also creating economic opportunity. That's what we're really all about. Our recycling rate in Franklin County is at an all-time record high of 49%. That's up, isn't that great? That's up about 15 points in 4 years. It's one of the highest in the Midwest. And this is not only good for our environment, but it is an economic attraction tool to companies that are interested in those type of issues to attract the workforce. Yet we want it to go higher, and we've set a goal of reaching 75% over the next several years. One of the ways to achieve that goal is focusing on significant components of the waste stream and repurposing it for greater good. And that's what this food waste strategy is all about. Reducing food waste is also a component of the broader food action plan implemented by the Columbus and Franklin County Food Board, which was created by County Commissioner John O'Grady and Columbus City Council member Priscilla Tyson. One of our staff members, Brian Esbrook, is here as well, representing them. SWACO strives to be your trusted resource in all things relating to recycling and diversion. And we do that by trying to bring people together to address these issues and create solutions. That's why we appreciate the collaboration from all of you that was so evident in the creation of the food waste strategy, and Jeff alluded to this. And that collaboration is also critical for the successful implementation of the strategy. It doesn't do you any good to have a strategy if you can't implement it. And so we're ready now to roll out the strategy, but the next part is the harder part, which is implementing it, and that takes collaboration, partnership, trust, confidence, transparency. An important and valued partner in this undertaking for all of us is the Ohio Environmental Protection Agency. And we are so pleased that the agency's newer director, the director of the Ohio EPA, Laurie Stevenson, is with us tonight to add her remarks. So please welcome Ohio EPA Director Laurie Stevenson.
Well, good evening, everyone. Gosh, I'm just here really to stop by and say hello and to really just send congratulations to this entire team, like everyone in this space and outside of this space who's stepping up really to play a leadership role in helping us figure out where we go in the space of food waste management. So I am the new EPA director. I've been at the EPA for quite a long time, kind of in the regulatory world. But I'm very proud of the efforts that we've made. I see some of our current team members here supporting you in what you do. And so I do want to say congratulations. I do want to convey our commitment to support all of you in moving ahead. On a personal note, aside from being an EPA director, I'm a mom of 3 teenagers. So I will tell you from a food perspective, every time they open the refrigerator and see the very dark bananas, they freak out. You know, Mom, what are you doing? I'm like, wait, you know, this is banana bread in the making. So we're not ready to throw this away. So I really am intrigued and energized by what I'm hearing about the plan, the fact that it's a multi-pronged plan that's going to hit food waste from several different levels, from, you know, source reduction to reuse to, you know, alternatives. So we support you in all of that space. It's always ironic to me, we talk about excess food, but people who are still hungry in Ohio and in this country. And so, you know, I think any headway that we make to bridge gaps and help people and help the environment. So this is not just an environmental issue, it's a social issue, and it's plugged in from so many different aspects. So again, I applaud your efforts. If there's anything that I can do for you personally as the EPA director to support what you're doing moving forward, please reach out to me. I'd also like to recognize some of my teammates who have left the agency but have been strong champions. Pam Allen, I think I saw Andrew Booker. You know, those two were in the mix in the agency as champions for pollution prevention and waste reduction far ahead of their time. So I think it's because of their efforts and others in the agency, our next generation. I see Kelsey, I see Angel. You know, they really kind of institutionalized the thought process for us and how we kind of move from a regulatory agency to one that is more progressive, and how we think about sustainability, how we provide flexibility to allow for sustainable practices, and how we generally support this new world and what we do and how we move forward. So I thank my former teammates, I thank my current teammates for being engaged, and again, congratulations on what you're doing and where you're going, and again, let me know how we can help. Thank you.
Kyle Keith is going to introduce our next speaker.
Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, absolutely, and thank you all for being here. I'm going to speak a little bit later, but first I want to introduce our next speaker. Evan Walker, he's a senior corporate engagement officer with the World Wildlife Fund. And Evan has worked with business leaders to advance sustainability, global conservation, and inspire people and protect places and species. A lot of people might wonder, what is World Wildlife Fund doing with an issue like food waste? And I think you'll be able to hear a little bit about that right now, but World Wildlife Fund has also become a leader both nationally and globally for this issue. And so we're really excited to be working with them. We're working with them on some of our projects, like with Columbus City Schools and reducing food waste in the schools, but hopefully beyond that as well. And so really I'd like to just hand it over to Evan to share with us a little bit about World Wildlife Fund.
Hello. I'm not texting, I have notes on my phone, so. But yeah, I work for the World Wildlife Fund, and I think most people think of us as the panda organization with the panda logo we have. And so as a global conservation group, we do focus on species like panda, of course, but also on freshwater, forest, oceans, climate, and increasingly food. So over the last 60 years, our mission has been to protect the future of nature, and we've seen in working on the ground in 100 countries how the production of food has become one of the biggest threats to a lot of the places and species that we are trying to protect. So really our goal has been to protect or to freeze the footprint of food, and we actually produce enough food to feed the world right now. It's said that 1 in 3 calories produced go to waste. So, that could feed 3 billion people. That's 10 times the US population and 3 times the population of malnourished globally. So food waste is one of the reasons that we aren't feeding the people we need to and are continuing to expand agriculture. In working with companies like Kroger, for example, we work with them on their Zero Hunger, Zero Waste initiative. And locally, we work with them on the work with the Kroger Foundation on expanding our Food Waste Warriors curriculum program that's working with schools here in Columbus, like Columbus City Schools and Hilliard, to audit food waste in schools, get the kids out there collecting food and measuring how much is wasted, and then working in lesson plans on why food matters and hopefully building a respect for food that, as someone mentioned earlier, also hopefully extends at home. The kids get it on a lot of these environmental issues. It's parents who don't always get it. And as a new parent, I guess I'm now in that camp. But basically, we are working with schools, and SWACO has been a great partner here. And frankly, if we don't address food waste at home, we really won't make a dent. Food waste at home actually is the largest piece of the food waste puzzle right now. And I'm definitely guilty of that. I'm sure many in the room are. And so it's something that we think should be addressed, and in a place like Central Ohio, the food we eat and the food we throw away matters, whether it's coming from across the globe where oil palm is expanding into orangutan habitat, or if it's beef coming from Brazil that's being raised on land that was once rainforest, or actually even in the northern Great Plains of the U.S., where we're actually losing more grasslands faster than we are tropical forests to row crops like soy and corn. That's impacting, obviously, our water sources and iconic species like bison or endangered black-footed ferrets. So these impacts happen across the globe, but they also happen right here at home. That's why we want to work in communities, including here in Central Ohio, to reduce food waste and reduce those impacts on the earth. Of course, it saves money, also can feed the hungry, so we've got to take that opportunity where we can. And then I think for the future of working here in Ohio, WWF we are wrapping up our first round of the Food Waste Warriors curriculum program this summer, and so we'll be kind of analyzing how the food waste audits work, coming up with lessons learned that we can share and hope to expand into other schools. We're currently doing them in 8 cities across the country, but want to keep expanding on that. We also are working with the National Restaurant Association to test food waste prevention pilots in 10 restaurants and then developing tools that can be shared to the restaurant industry in October. We are also expanding our hotel kitchen platform. So that was a pilot program with hotels to test food waste reduction and prevention systems. And we will be expanding a easy-to-use toolkit in the end of summer. And I think that's it for now. Thanks for having me, and you guys are doing a great job here in Central Ohio to reduce food waste. So we should have a round of applause for SWACO and everyone leading this.
So Kyle's going to now share kind of a local view of this work.
A little bit. I'll do my best. But first off, thank you all for being here tonight. We really appreciate your support and interest in this subject. And not often enough that we have the chance to really celebrate and reflect and support the great work that our community does. And obviously not often enough that we do this for food waste. So we're really grateful that you're all here. But tonight's really about recognizing a lot of the work that's going on in our community. There's a lot of work already underway, and that's what these folks are here, especially around these tables, are here to talk to you about. And honestly, I want to give them a round of applause because they're the ones here doing this work every day. And that's the truth. I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into whether it's rescuing a meal or, working on research or, you name it, educating kids. But all of that's going on, and it's really a reflection of what we're here to do with this action plan. This action plan was really the result of dozens of organizations working together to align their resources and their goals when it comes to food waste. And so, we're really excited that this will help to steer us in the right direction. But food waste is not always a well-known subject, right? You heard a statistic earlier that 1 million tons, or excuse me, don't quote me on that one, 1 million pounds is landfilled daily, which is crazy. Almost 1 million pounds of food we end up landfilling every day. And those impacts are significant. Everything from the resources to grow, harvest, transport, prepare that food are being wasted when you waste that food. And so you think about it from whether that's energy, fuel, water, you name it. It's a huge impact. We estimate that just by wasting this food, we're also wasting about 160,000 acres of land that was used to grow that food. That's about half the size of Franklin County. So a significant amount of land and resources that are contributing to that. But we're also wasting food that could feed people. Mid-Ohio Food Bank, one of our close partners, estimates that 69 million meals are missed every year from Central Ohioans, from folks in Franklin County, right here, our neighbors. We also estimate that we're landfilling 190 million meals annually. We could feed our community if we weren't wasting this food. So tremendous opportunity here, and that's what this work is all about, is really trying to leverage this food waste as an opportunity, as a resource, as a benefit to our community. And it all starts with us, right? It starts with us tonight while we're here today, taking it home to our families, taking it back to our work. There are things that we can do. And there's ways that you can get involved. We have a website. It's if you just search Central Ohio Food Waste Initiative, it'll come up. It's got a tremendous amount of resources on what you can do here locally, what you can do at the state level, even nationally, tips, resources, everything. So we encourage you to check that out. But really, we thank you, and we hope that you can walk away with this, that knowing there's a way for you to get involved, whether it's your organization or you individually. And again, I just want to give a round of applause to everybody that is here, but is also working on this issue every day. And so thanks again. We appreciate you being here.
A couple of closing comments. Kyle is a humble person, and I wanted to share that the City of Columbus and SWACO were one of 3 teams selected nationally by the National Resource Defense Fund, and they're going to Milan, Italy, to learn and share about global efforts to reduce food waste. So our work is now being recognized internationally, which is very exciting. Thanks again, and safe travels, and we'll see you down the road because we're just getting started. Thank you.